everyone, this is Shannon from Captivating Compass and Homeschool Travel Learn. We are back this time talking about London and is it worth it? You might think you know the answer to that. For you, it might be yes, and it's totally worth it. Raise your hand if that's you. That's totally me. Other of you guys might be asking that question. And so I want to break it down and explain a few things about London to help you decide, is London worth it for your family? For a vacation destination and a destination to learn using the world as your textbook. All right, guys, so you know London is one of the biggest cities in the world, and it's also a really popular travel destination for family travelers for a lot of reasons. But the question we're asking today is London worth it? Does the thought of saving and spending that much money on going to such a big city with your family really, some people, they get a little nervous about it, and it just strikes a chord of anxiety in them. And so I want you to just take a listen here and let's talk about it. But first of all, I want you to know, having been to London a couple times with my family and with my kids, I totally get the anxiety and the nervousness that it can produce, as well as the excitement and the sheer joy that you can have with all the different things that go on in London that you can use to learn and have fun together. Being intentional with travel and adding some really exciting activities to your homeschool curriculum and homeschool plan. So let's just dive right in. You know, the first thing that a lot of people may or may not know about London is that almost every museum is free. There's going to be some that do have a fee, but there are so many good museums that are free. So that right there, if you can get your family there and you can afford the lodging and you can afford the food, you can probably afford London, okay? So there's lots of ways to shrink your budget down on some of those the big ticket items like the transportation and the lodging. I cover those items in my guide for families, for London for Families, and it is a 9-guide packet. There's also individual guides. It's by neighborhood and the things that are in a specific neighborhood or borough, as they call them, that you can do as a family within pretty good walking distance or tube distance within 9 different neighborhoods, and showing you where certain things are at and how to use them, and then also providing a few resources to help you have fun and learn while you're there too. So it's kind of a package deal of travel, homeschool together. So take a look for those. But what I want to do is keep talking about the free museums and all the other things that are making London such a great destination for families that love to travel. So, okay, so we talked about the free museums. There's the British Museum, the Tate, the Victoria and Albert. Those are, the Tate and Victoria and Albert are art museums. There's science museums that are free. There's different, as long as they're not private museums. So Buckingham Palace, yeah, you're gonna have to pay for that. What are some of the other things? You might have to pay for, like Windsor Castle, those kind of things. The Tower of London, yeah, you're gonna have to pay for that. But those are worth choosing 1 or 2 to spend your money on and really deep dive into those and enjoy the experience. And then also step back to some of the free things, adding in a park, because there are some amazing parks in London that you can go and enjoy just playing together, hanging out, having a picnic lunch, and enjoying the scenery and the beauty of London at the same time, and to rest your feet if you're doing a lot of walking. So, okay, so we talked about museums. There are free parks, and there's lots of ponds. You can watch the swans. You can, do all kinds of things. Walking through a park between museums is often really enjoyable and gives you a little bit of a break, some greenery, some fresh air, maybe a cool breeze you'll find there. So those are also really good too. And one way to save on some of the museums where you might want to go, but they do have a fee, is to get the English Heritage Overseas Visitors Pass. I actually talk about that one in the blog post that will be linked with this, and it is the Is London Worth It blog post. And so take a look for that, as well as the London City Guide for Families. Those 2 pieces together are going to give you lots of resources on how to make it really affordable. Another thing when you're thinking about transportation is kids under 15 should be traveling for free or very cheap, like £1 when they're with an adult, or you can get a family style ticket for that. And you can get those here once you're in country rather than purchasing it from abroad. You can get your contactless tube pass. You can get that in advance so you're ready to use it right away because you have it loaded with currency and you're able to just tap and go. So those are really easy ways to make it work for you. I talk about those in the blog post. I have a whole section on England, and it has 4 or 5 different posts on London. So look for those on the website at captivatingcompass.com, and you're going to want to choose the England section of the travel guides for those. So a few more things that make people question, is London worth it? Is the planning for it? And you can get really overwhelmed with planning a London visit, but there are ways to kind of break it down. You know, I often talk about how do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time, right? And so I've put together the Ultimate UK Family Trip Planning Challenge, and it's a 5-day challenge. It comes as an email to your inbox with all kinds of resources to help you look at different aspects of a trip to the UK. So not just London with this one in particular, although there's a lot of London in that. And as a family, you may find 2 or 3 days in London, maybe 4. And then you're going to want to get out of the city, take a breath, see some different parts of the British Islands, and enjoy some of the different things that you'll be able to do outside of London and outside the hustle and bustle of that. But certainly don't miss out on London with all of the amazing things there. There's Legoland. They always have discounts. There's the Richmond Park, which is out near the Heathrow Airport and Legoland. And they've got wildlife in that park, and it is amazing. There's the British Library. If you have a book buff or you're wanting to look at really amazing first edition things. I've seen the first edition of, let's see, Messiah's Handel, Shakespeare's Folios, Don Quixote. I've even seen the lyrics to one of the famous Beatles songs that was written on a napkin. It's framed in the British Library. We did the Alice in Wonderland kind of tour about based on the books while we were there a few years ago, and that was a short-term exhibit, but that might come back or may end up in other museums as they tour the country. So those types of places, they're free. I talk more about those in the Ultimate Family Trip Planning Challenge for the UK. And so those pieces help you just take your time through the different things and put it together so that you can find the best resources to think about and pull together for your family so that you can learn on location, you can have fun together, and you can make awesome, awesome, awesome family memories. Another one of the things that I've done is I've put together a couple virtual museum tours so that you can begin learning before you even get to London, and then it all makes more sense and is more cohesive for the learning side of things. And if you know that that trip to London is a ways off because you're saving money or you're planning for vacation time to take a large chunk of time, these are perfect to kind of keep that flame going and keep you inspired and motivated to keep learning and keep exploring the world, even if you're at home. So there's the Rome and Britain study, and that's a virtual tour from the British Museum where I've pulled together resources and gallery tours and walk you through with hands-on and experiential projects to do, and a few worksheets and that type of thing to help pull things together and learn about not just Britain, but also the Romans, because the Romans were in Britain for quite a few years and they left a big mark. And so you get to learn about all that with the artifacts from the museum that are in the virtual museum component. The other one that I've put together is the Egyptian mummies, and the British Museum has an amazing Egyptian mummy exhibit, and it's a permanent exhibit, and we've seen it and it is phenomenal. And the pictures, the virtual pictures and the virtual gallery that they've put together is amazing. The pictures are crisp, they're interactive, but there's still so much more that you can learn just by observing that I put together the unit study so that you can go through, you can take a look at the mummies, look at all the hieroglyphics, look at all the different things that they have there, and then employ the worksheets and create a unit study out of it and enjoy it as a family or individual study, or just something fun to do because, you know, maybe it's hot out today or it's rainy out today and you want something that you can do together as a family, or you just have one kid or two kids that are really into ancient history. I have one of those, and so that's kind of where this study kind of started from. The other thing about London and it being worth it is there's so much richness. We haven't talked at all about theater, and we haven't talked at all about music and the different things like that that you can enjoy in London. There's the churches and the architecture. There's the history that you learn from the monuments and just doing walking tours and the different things like that. So I would say, you know, I'm a little biased. London is one of my favorite cities in the world that I've been to so far. I would go back time and time again. Each time I have an opportunity to learn something new. And so I take it slow and I take a chunk, and I will do just maybe one type of theme and that kind of thing. So what I want to do, the reason I put this together is because that I want to encourage you to take that next step and make that plan. And if you start with virtual studies to help keep you inspired, and then you finally get there live in person on location, seeing the artifacts, walking through the parks, having the cup of tea and a scone, you know, visiting the castles and the tower and all the different things, you are going to enjoy it. Your kids are going to love it. Everybody's going to learn so much, and you're going to have a great time together as a family. All right, so I hope that you will take a look at the blog post, and you'll find all the different resources that are available for London. There's also plenty of resources about Stratford-upon-Avon and about Isaac Newton and where he lived in and near Lincoln. And what else is there? Oh, there's so many things. You just go and check it out. You'll find it and you'll enjoy it. And I hope that it helps you build the vacation of a lifetime and great opportunities for learning both now and in the future, and on the location and on the vacation. So if you have questions about London, if you have questions about the unit studies, or there's a particular place you want to go and you would love to build a unit study in and you don't see that I have that, let me know. I would love to build that for you and see if we can find some resources that are going to help your family learn. So you take care. I will see you on Facebook on the Facebook page, which is Homeschool Travel Learn, and also over on the website, which is captivatingcompass.com. All right, stay captivated.